Hello and welcome. This is Kristen from the Online Selling Show, and it is Monday, February 10th. Means it's a new week to kick off here for our channel, and that means generally I would be here laying out what my goals for the week would be. I have been doing this for 22 years, and I do have the wholesale business that is the primary source of income. But this channel I try to dedicate to the channel that there was the new eBay store I started on June 15th, 2024. Right now, though, I'm kind of just coasting. I'll admit it. I have my week and a half-ish vacation coming up next week, and I kind of am just in that slow season, and I do kind of just get lazy. I'll admit it. That means for me this week, let's see, I may try and do another Whatnot show. This will be done with stock from my wholesale business that I'm just trying to blow out. I've mentioned in prior videos that the first quarter of the year is generally me trying to clean up all the old lingering things from the year prior, meaning like the taxes get done. I am still working on trying to get those old SKUs deleted out of the various systems. I may work on that. We have a snowstorm coming tomorrow, and then we also are expecting to have another one like 2 days or so later. Those times of days, I'll admit, I am lazy. I don't want to be outside. I don't want to do any of that. So it'll probably be a good day for me to just kind of dig in and just do those computer kind of problems. I have looked at the returns that came back in bulk from the Amazon account I have with the wholesale business. And to give you an idea, we've gotten back, it'll be probably well over $500 from this endeavor. I know it's probably a lot more volume than most people would see, but I just mention it because we probably have maybe 5 hours into this, my husband and I, and it just gives you an idea like how much dollars and cents it's worth it for us. I feel, looking at my hourly wage for handling that it was money well, easily able to be recouped back. We're not done yet. I did have to go back and file some appeals and things, and they just, sometimes you just wonder what they're reading, or what they're just being lazy themselves. I don't know. But I did probably have a good third or so of them that are still lingering around. So I'll just keep up on that. The Whatnot show, I may do one. I'm thinking another one this week, because to me, I don't know if I leave, I want to do too much with my husband having to kind of go root through this stuff. He very readily knows what to do in the wholesale business. It's something he's very comfortable with. He does it all day. But with this new eBay store, I really haven't gotten too much into explaining the way I laid the stuff out for inventory. And I don't know that I want to even be bothered, truthfully. And I'm okay with that. I've said before, this new eBay store is going to be what I want for income when we retire, but I don't want it to be like handcuffing me, and I'm going to be like having to be there all the time and stuff. I want to be able to pursue my hobbies, do traveling and that, and I want it to be a little bit more flexible. And I think the main reason I want this channel documenting all this is because it can be done. It's a way that people can fit it into their lives, doing this reselling, making a good wage from it. I know a lot of people who are always looking for like a second job or a way to cut costs in their family or raise additional funds for things that they want or need. And I really feel that this reselling is something that can be done, and it can be done around anybody's passions, hobbies, time, desires, whatever you wanted to make it. And that's what I'm showing with, I want to show with this channel, is I want to have that 6-figure income that'll be out there by the time January 2027 rolls around. But I want to be able to do it on my terms. And truthfully, I'm just not feeling it right now. What I'm feeling is I want to be immersed in my hobby that's going to be the primary focus of my vacation, is going away for basically like a girls' weekend and just doing my card making. And I like to do a lot of prep for that. And this is the kind of stuff I want this new endeavor to be able to dovetail around. And I'm thinking right now is the perfect time to make it work around it, because if I don't set it up in the beginning to be that way, it's never going to get that way. So that's where I'm at this week. I may pick away a little bit at the returns. I'm probably going to pick a little bit away at those SKUs being removed. I may do another at Whatnot store or show, but I am just not going to put the pressure on myself. I will try to come back with a midweek wrap up. I was trying to look ahead. There was one sale that did have some interest for Christmas and for May, but it's still a little bit early. I find in my region anyway, most of the sales are Friday, Saturday, and the best time to really start previewing them for what is going to be there is kind of Tuesday night or maybe Wednesday. I'm not really sure because the snow is expected to come, like I said, tomorrow and then again on Thursday, and I haven't really followed the timing of it yet, and I feel like that may kind of delay some stuff for this. We shall see. So we'll be back. It is Thursday, February 13th. It is raining out. We did get, if you can see, we did get the snow I mentioned earlier in the week, but by today, with the warmer temperatures and this rain, it's going to be gone. I think we're all kind of done with winter. It's funny because it's still February, but you know, whatever. The week has progressed as I thought it would progress, which is I haven't done anything with the returns. I need to try and get those done before I leave on Monday. The removing of SKUs, it's kind of halted. The biggest brand that was still left of me for doing the SKU removals is in the middle of discussions with me, and we're going through a lot of reports and things to get my big spring summer release and the holiday orders solidified, and that kind of dictates what I'm going to be getting rid of out of SKUs. So it just made sense to put that on hold for right now. The estate sales, I looked ahead and I wish I did not. Estate sales in my area come into three categories in my head. The first is the demolition sales. Those are the ones where somebody buys the $1 million house, hires a demolition company to come in and demolish the house, and then put a $5 million house up. The demolition companies will hold these supposed estate sales, but they're in there just selling everything in the house, trying to get less that they have to dispose of. And you could buy everything from the roof rafters down to the shrubs in the front yard. Those, for me, doesn't have a lot of appeal. There may be times that there's housewares or linens or something like that, but most of it has just been through many different people in the rental world, and it's mismatched, it's cheap, stained, whatever. I tend to avoid those. It's an hour from my house. There's really not a big appeal to me on those. The second is what I would say is the over 55 ones, and those are the ones, I'm just going to put the term sanitized on there. They just seem very sanitized because those people have gone through, they've done all the downsizing, which means they went through everything in the house that was from all of their growing up and youth or whatever, and moved into these over 55 communities. Most of them, and I relate because I want to retire in 2 to 3 years and relocate myself. I will be going through this, and that is, they come in and they want like the new dish sets and the new decor and that. When you look at the stuff they may bring some of their collectibles, but they're very minimum in their pieces. They're not bringing that whole hoard of stuff. They tend to get into more casual clothing, shoe brands like Naturalizer and Clark. They're not very couture brands. Maybe they'll have the nicer purses, but otherwise, I'm not saying you're not. I shop plenty of them, but the biggest draw for me are those homes where they have been there forever. The ones that you want to go and dig through the closets, the attic, and the basement, and you're going to see the hoarding of certain collections and what have you. There's quite a few of those styles this week, and I'm like cringing. I'm going to have to next year make sure I hit the ground running in January. That's all I have to say to myself. Make sure I'm prepared. There is quite a few ones of that style this weekend. One particular has my attention. They have this collectible in the vintage Christmas world known as Howard. Even in the Howard collections, my understanding was they were sold at like the Woolworth 5 and 10. And they are very desirable now. There are certain stylizations, designs, collections, whatever you want to say, that is very desirable. And the one sale this weekend has 2 pieces from this desirable collection. They're not the holy grail of that, but they're still ones I would like to go get. I have thought about it every which way, and there's just no way. My husband would blow a gasket if I said I was going to a sale. I'm just telling you. And I would even be disgusted with myself because I haven't even touched anything in that death pile. I haven't barely even looked at it. Sales have been almost non-existent. I think this week I have one sale, and it was a very low offer. If I count in the shipping costs, I'm probably going to break even with it. But for me, it was more of the just get rid of it stuff than trying to make the profit. I would just want to get my money back and move on. I know I way overpaid, and it was a purse. So not my necessarily wheelhouse either. The other thing I wanted to comment on is I am starting to fall away from doing the planner, and I need to get myself back on that. I am leaving on Monday. What is that, 4 or 5 days, something like that. My primary focus outside of dealing with the ordering from this brand is just preparing to leave. Other than that, I've been getting quite a few personal things addressed, and things are moving along as I kind of expected. My foreseeable future is just the rest of this month, just dealing with the stuff personally. But beginning of March, I want to come back running. I want to get heavy into getting these listings up and really starting to get prepared for yard sale season. I've been watching a lot of different YouTube videos, and I'm really getting like kind of antsy. Like I want to see, I think, more yard selling in this coming year. The selection and the pricing is going to probably bring some really good things coming my way. Just doing some overall education, looking at what other people have had like some great, scores with. That's it for now. I will be back in a few days to wrap up the week. And next week, I'll show you some highlights just of what's going on with my week down there. I told you it's a great time when I go, but the shenanigans or the things that people do, oh my God, when it's down there. So we shall see. I'll be back. I'm here now for the February 10th to February 16th, 2025 wrap up. There was a video I did separate talking about how I ran a sale over the weekend, and it was supposed to start Friday, I believe at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I was running a coupon sale that was supposed to be going on until 4 p.m. So there was supposed to be this 2-hour gap between when the coupon would have ended for the 40% off and the markdown sale would have started for the full weekend. That was like 51% or something. And it wound up that the end date for the coupon, I thought it was going back to February 14th. It did not. It was set for March 14th. And I freaked out because when I saw the way they stacked, I thought, oh my, they're getting 90% off. I can't afford that. I ended it. And I had gotten quite a few sales in. I did the numbers. I go through the whole ideology on that in this other video. If I can think of it, I will put it down below. And what I wound up finding was that it was not as bad as I thought. And the sales in here may not really show it in these numbers in the sense of what the gross sales were. But I was happy because the items that we're selling are items at this point that I feel just need to get my money back on, and I want to move on. Looking at what's in my store and what's left, there's probably less than 50 items I would want to keep out of the approximate maybe 275 listings that are left. And I just, like I said, want to get my money back so I can get a little nest egg built up for when I go back out in the season and get things started. I've mentioned I want to do that on April 1st. And these numbers are going to look kind of a little bit low because I'm not in it trying to get the big profit. I've already given up that I'm not going to get that huge ticket item. I'm not going to get the like 10 times my money back. Some of these items I may be basically break even on, and I'm okay with that. So right now it says my gross sales are $275 for the week, with net sales being $58.21. The average gross per sale was $27.53, with the average net per sale of $5.82. When you look at this number, it's going to look misleading because they've taken out the cost already of what I paid for the goods. So the $58.21 is just a profit over and above. So this to me is good because, as I mentioned, I was running a 51 or 52% discount with a stacked coupon on top of that of 40. And most people would think that I was basically just going to be getting back the 10%. Do the math, it does not come out that way. I had a net profit margin of 21% with an average net profit margin of 22%. Most of the goods sold did come from yard sales, a few coming off of Facebook Marketplace, and then very little between estate sales, personal, and Goodwill. I only am selling right now on the eBay platform. It is saying I've had a cost of goods of $99.70. So I got my $99.70 back, plus I got the $58.21. I did have fees to the marketplace of eBay for $47 and shipping costs of $70.37. I had a total of 10 sales, and this was a President's Day weekend. I had thought I had more, but they must have come in on Monday and will show up for next week. Again, only because I did not ship on Monday with the holiday, and I had to wait. And I guess just looking at the pile, it seemed like it was more than that, but still, we sold 10 items. As you can see here, I had a little bit happening over the weekend of last weekend, and then I had the slow with nothing happening. I had 2 days of no sales, and that's what prompted me to say, let me put this coupon out there and try and get some more sales coming in. And that's where you're seeing the sales come in over the weekend. I think most of the items had happened there. They're saying an average day to list was less than a day. I have not listed anything in months. Today, like I said, is the middle of February. I have not listed anything since the middle of November. Average time to sell was 6 months. My goal is that I want to get things moved and out of my store in 3 months, with things clearanced out by 6. So let's go in and see what the actual items are that sold. So out of the total items that sold, the 10th item in lowest value is this Disney's Little Mermaid and Sebastian ornament. This was an item I bought many years ago at a yard sale. It has been just sitting around. This was an item that sold. I may have taken an offer on that because what happened was, after I ended the coupon, I think people were kind of anticipating they wanted to buy it. And when I ended the coupon, they did submit offers to me. And I had about 3 or 4 of these items that I took the offer on, again, just to get rid of the items. This was an item that they paid a total of $10.37 for. And it's a $3.82 purchase cost for the item, with a $6.55 shipping cost. I'm going to go through these numbers for this first one, and then moving forward, I will just give you the overview. This is saying it was listed for 8 months. It was a purchase price of $2 that I put in there. Honestly, I have no recollection of what I bought these for. Then the breakdown of costs are, there is a 40-cent fixed value fee, which is the eBay fee. It is a banking transaction fee. In other words, it's the fee they charge from taking the money out of the buyer's account and depositing it to yours. The $1.42 final value fee is generally 15% of the sales price. Truthfully, it is the value that they've totally collected, which is the $10.37. So the $1.42 may seem, it may look high of the $1.42, but because it looks like it's like 50% of what they collected in, but it's not. It's based on the total of the $10.37 that they collected. If you look in here, there was an ad fee of 23 cents. That is basically me paying eBay to promote my listing over and above other people's when the buyer is in looking for a specific item and has been putting in search keywords. It will promote me over other ones. I usually put that at a 2%. The cost to ship was $4.51, which left me with a net return of $1.81. That is because I made the money out of the shipping, basically. The ROI on this is 91%, and the net profit margin is 17%. So basically they're saying for my $2 profit, I made $1.81 in profit above the $2. So that is the number 10 selling item of the week. The number 9 item, this was definitely something I knew nothing about. I was trying to train myself. When I first got back into this in June with women's clothing, I knew nothing about jeans. I thought these were going to be a good sell-through, and I picked them up. I picked them up at Goodwill for $5.99. And as you can see from the numbers, after I took or sold, I think I took an offer of $4.41 for this. The shipping was $10.65. That is the only thing that really saved me in this transaction, because I paid $6.23 with a net return of 18 cents. May not sound like it's worthwhile, but I was able to get back my $5.99. I look at this as basically having paid for a lesson in my eBay selling journey, and no harm, no foul. So there is the number 9 spot. The number 8 spot, these were items I bought at a huge community flea market-y kind of sale. It was an item that was at the very end of the day, they were just basically thrown out on a sheet, and I was combing through them all. There is a shopping video available for that, and I paid $1 for them. They did sell under the coupon and discount, and they were one of the ones when I looked at it and I thought, oh, that doesn't look too bad, and it didn't trigger me because I felt like the price was still good at the $9.70. The particular item here did still bring me in $7.90, so $1 became almost $8. I was still very happy with that one. The number 7 spot is some of the paper that I sell that is out of my personal collection. The number 6 spot is this item I picked up at the Lancaster 125 house yard sale. And this was another item. I picked it up for 71 cents. It's sold under the coupon markdown discounts for $10.29. I am really not sure why that shipping came in that high. Again, I think the shipping really helped make the profit on this, because my 70 cents did give me a $14 return. So even with this oops that I made, I still came out with, I thought, a decent amount of profit there. Then we're going into the number 5 spot, and I have to apologize with this hotel that I'm at. This is a little slow here. The number 5 spot, this item is a loss for me. I realized after I bought it, I got it home, I went to list it, and I could tell that they say that the money is made in the buying of an item and not in the selling. That is absolutely true. When you look at this item, I bought it for $20, and I was only able to get $14.40. This was one of the items that was submitted as an offer after I ended the coupon. Kind of hemmed and hawed, But truthfully, this was an item taking up quite a bit of space in some of the tubs that I had, and I thought, you know what, let me just get this out there and get rid of it. I did take a loss of $6.80 on this item. It goes to show that you really do need to know products when you're trying to buy up on something, meaning if you're not willing to pay for the item at a price for yourself. Like, I don't know that I would have really bought this pocketbook for myself for $20. I really should have scrutinized this much better and not bought it probably. The number 4 selling item for this week was another item that came in on an offer. These were this set of 11 Christmas ornaments. Honestly, I was really not prepared to take this offer, and somehow I must have just hit the wrong button, and it did take this person's offer of $20. I paid $22 for this item, and as you can see, I originally had them listed for $50. I would have liked to have gotten more, but I do have to realize I've been sitting on them for a while. It's probably better to just get back what I could and move on. I did take a loss of $2.41. Again, another item where I probably picked them up with the intent to, wanting some of the items myself. I don't really know what I was thinking, and I just probably should have passed on them. The number 3 highest selling item, this is another one I hemmed and hawed about because we haven't even gotten to the Easter season yet, and I really think I could have gotten more money for this, but I took the offer of $25 just to clear the space up, get some month's money back, and move on. I did pay $20 for this item. Even after all the fees, I was only able to bring in $2.86. Again, I could have made a lot more money, but I just am in a position right now that I want to start fresh. This item here, the number 2 item, was one I bought at that first estate sale that I ever went to. I did get the Easter basket there, and I got these items. This is a Jim Shore 2008. It was a beautifully gift box set of 4 ornaments from The Wizard of Oz. I was honestly quite shocked that I was not able to move this during the Christmas season. I was kind of wondering if I had misrepresented it or something and why it had not sold. I did pick it up with a purchase price of $24, and it sold on the stacking of the 2 discounts for $27.44. I had a net return of $1.60. Nothing phenomenal, but to me, I'm just getting back my $24 really, and I'll have to keep that in mind in my next time that I'm out purchasing. This was an item that I learned about watching the Homeschooling Picker. She did some stuff with these big trays, and it had the hand-painted toile look on it. There is this like big bird with a plume and everything on it. I bought it at the Lancaster sale when I was up there. I spent $4 on it. I can tell you this was rather vintage. The people I bought this from, he had said he had it. It had been in like 3 generations of their family. I did take an offer of $40 for it, and after paying the assorted fees, it was $26.91. So this was probably the best of the items that I had come and sell. It wasn't taking up a ton of space, but it was a rather large item, and I am getting to the point where I'm kind of thinking I don't want to get too involved in large items. So those are the top items for this week. Nothing overly exciting, nothing really telling you to be on the lookout for it, other than knowing that there will be times that you're going to want to just sell stuff to get your money back. I'm going to say bye for now. I would appreciate a thumbs up if you got anything good that you enjoyed out of this week's content, and I would really appreciate if you could hit the subscribe button down below, and I will catch you on the next one.